Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another Warcraft replay here, as we have an undead versus human matchup this time around. No more Night Elf, and no more... I mean, I guess we stick with undead, but yeah, no more Night Elf, even though they're in a pretty bad place right now. To the players we have TGW, who I have not casted ever before. He is a Russian player who primarily plays random. It says that he has some wacky playstyle. I will have to wait and see if that is the case. Yumiko, on the other hand, barely needs introduction, or I don't know if that's right. He has started playing around here and there recently. Hasn't really been seen all that often in 2016 to 17. But yeah, Yumiko was, I believe, one of the human titans during like early 2010s, along with TH and Infi. Sadly, he has fallen a little bit due to, I think, just being out of the pro scene recently. But either way, he is going to be playing on Northern Isles versus TGW, Mountain King versus Crypt Lords. So this is a hero matchup I have not seen.
Job's done.
So I'm interested to see how it turns out. Mountain King being seen a little bit, I guess, in an undead matchup. We can just pair that up with a Blood Mage and go sniping Crypt Fiends with Banished Stormbolt. TGW, on the other hand, Crypt Lord is also being accompanied by mass schools. The Crypt Lord first, most of the time I see them just try to get good value out of Impales. I think I have seen the occasional Carrion Beetle, I think they're called. But yeah, I have to just wait and see, to be honest, because I don't know what this Crypt Lord is expected of, as we do have a Sack Skull being picked up, as well as the Rod of Necromancy. As the TV scroll gets sold, we are also unsummoning the Altar of Darkness from TGW, so I think this is just to refund a little bit of those resources invested in the altar. Kind of hits the fact that either TGW isn't intending on going for more heroes, or the altar is just a dead building for quite some time. He's going to be sticking to tier 1 for quite a bit, which makes sense. He does have mass ghouls. Right now he's just taking out the Murloc camp in the middle side of the map. Mountain King, I believe, took down the Ogre Magi, right? Ogre Magi? Yeah, Ogre Magi and the Murloc camp as well. At least I think these are Murlocs. Yeah, 2 Murlocs. Stormbolt onto the Acolyte there, nice easy kill, very clean. Ogre Magi at the gold mine. This could potentially be early expand here, as we do have the same thing happening on the top side. Even an Acolyte's being brought over to potentially go for an early expand. Ogre Magi is going to drop the Crystal Ball for the Mountain King on the bottom. TGW will be able to pick up a Pendant Energy for the Crypt Lord, so pretty good item for the Crypt Lord, to be honest. Crystal Ball, have to wait and see if it actually provides any value. Most of the time it just gets used once, maybe twice, and then sold off. The Crystal Ball is going to reveal that the Haunted Gold Mine has been placed down. Mountain King may be looking for a fight. I don't know if he has Thunderclap. He definitely has the Stormbolt seen by the Acolyte kill. But I mean, Thunderclap would be pretty nice. We have 2 games in a row where AoE Stomp Clap slash Clap. Yikes! I am mixing my words. Stomp slash Clap actually does work. Very nice Impale, actually hitting about 99% of those footmen, but I think Goldmine is still done for. Yumiko could just run away, but he is actually sticking and is being a bit greedy here, is going to be forced to go for the TP scroll. He is going to cancel, or at least destroy the ziggurat. I don't think it was actually cancelled by TGW, and yeah, delays the expansion. We didn't actually have an expansion attempt here for Yumiko. He actually went for early tech. It is going to be finished in a couple of seconds here, but delaying your opponent's gold mine as well as delaying supply cap in exchange for a footman and a TP scroll. I guess it's alright for Yumiko. He definitely needs to take advantage of this early tech to tier 2. We aren't seeing whatever production buildings is required. We are gonna have the Blood Mage coming out as the second hero. Typical support system for the Mountain King. We are most likely gonna see the Paladin come out as the third. As Goblin Lab is gonna get cleared out by the Crypt Lord. Another pin of energy gets picked up there for himself, as he does have level 2 carrions, or level 2 beetles. Beetles is probably the more accurate term. Militia being spotted to the transit, so this is probably going to be once again a siege with tower pressure. It's just that there is a Nubian tower that could potentially just ward off any tower attempts here. Love Thunderclap is going to come down by the Mountain King. He does have a mana pot just in case, and that is most of the acolytes being killed off there. Very nice impale once again from the Crypt Lord, as you do have the Scroll of the Beast being used, and once again Thunderclap doing so much AoE damage. Mana pot is going to get consumed, but the impales just keep on coming. Population is still pretty decent on both sides. TGW obviously has the more units because the beetles aren't actually being counted, but yeah, another Thunderclap could definitely do it, or just a couple of swings from the Mountain King there. Stormbolt surround onto the Crypt Lord as well. He is at level 3. This is going to be a pretty costly revive if he actually falls, which he does. So there is that. Maybe overchased a little bit on TGW's part, and he is going to lose quite a bit for that. Might even lose a ghoul if the Stormbolt comes in from the long distance there. Crystal Ball is still being used by the Mountain King, which is not something you see all that often, as the Stormbolt is going to come through and the ghoul is going to get picked off. I believe Ghoul was trying to revive the Crypt Lord, but yeah, being so close to the Blood Mage Mountain King, it was really risky in trying to res him through that at that time. And of course, Altar of Darkness is was unsummoned. Graveyard is on its way, probably going to transition into Crypt Fiends, as the Crypt Lord is going to get revived through the Tavern. No tier 2 just yet. It is a bit alarming that TGW is just sticking to those ghouls, as we are going to have...
forces are under attack.
We are at double Crypt, which could mean just even more ghouls, or maybe even transition into Crypt Fiends. As we do have tier 2 started for TGW. Attack, siege coming in possibly for Yumiko. He doesn't exactly have good enough units to go for a siege. I do hear a Dragonwalk Rider on the field as well.
Forces are under attack.
Also, on the side note, hopefully we will have a lot less freezes. I actually just thought that running the replay at least once before recording should load up all the assets so we don't actually have any freezes coming in. So yeah, I am fingers crossed on that one. Stormbolt is going to pick up a ghoul. Mountain King is down to about 40% health, which is a bit alarming since we don't actually have any form of heals coming in from the human player just yet, as the Dragonwalk is going to pick up another ghoul.
Job's done.
Dragonhawk, not exactly sure why it just picked up. It kind of reminds me of Lin, randomly producing Wind Riders just to maybe elicit some sort of a reaction from his opponent, but you're kind of versing an undead who usually does transition into Crypt Fiends, so don't know what you're trying to bait there. Maybe Gargoyle's bait was the intention, but it's not going to work out this time around at least. Ziggurat's lasting quite a bit, in fact. The Bounty King isn't really investing into that Thunderclap, Stormbolts, mainly for the ghouls, so that Nerubian Tower is going to stay alive for quite a bit longer, as we do have a potential counterattack coming in from TGW. This is a bit risky since most of these units can't really destroy buildings all that well, and we do have the one guard tower available, so they can do decent amount of damage to those ghouls. Arcane Tower obviously would have done better versus skeletons and beetles, but the guard tower is enough DPS as well. It seems like Mountain King is gonna return in time. Guard tower not being repaired by enough peasants, I don't think. The skeletons are going to attack the peasants rather than the guard tower and try and get enough experience, maybe. Crypt Lord is gonna get that level 4, as we do have a Stormbolt onto him. Possible surround here, but the surround was incomplete, and the Zeppelin is gonna get picked up along with a Shredder. Super duper risky by TGW, but I don't think Yumiko has aerial shackles. He does not, and this Zeppelin is going to go home scot-free. Guys, I'm pretty sure shackles is a research upgrade. Unless it just simply requires, like, blacksmith? No, I'm pretty sure it is a research along with cloud. Yeah, now that I say that, Dragon Orcs, they require a lot of investment. Alrighty, super duper close to that level 5 for the Mountain King. He is gonna get a ton of experience from this overseer camp. I don't think it's gonna be enough, especially since he is sharing with the Blood Mage. Rune Braces gets picked up by the Blood Mage to hopefully mitigate some DPS coming in from the Crypt Lord, as we do have tier 2. No altar means no second hero just yet. We do have a Necropolis acting as a Zeppelin there. I believe it's just because all the ghouls were being pulled over to try and be in combat. Golem Shredder should be able to alleviate the ghoul job right there, as you do have the Altar of Darkness being rebuilt. Marketplace is going to get cleared out here. Healing Woods get picked up, and
forces are under attack. Ready to
is that it? I'm trying to click on the Mountain King there. There it is. That appears to be it, unless he sold it to the Marketplace.
Job done.
Yeah, Healing Wards. I'm not sure if that's going to be
Ready to work.
useful or not. It definitely depends on the player you're versing, because obviously just one hit and the ward is dead. Do have a couple of Burrowed Beetles. I'm not sure if they're gonna last long. There we go. Crystal Ball cooldown has finally
Our forces
cooled off.
are under attack.
Goblin Lab on the right side is going to get cleared out by the Mountain King, and he is going to hit that level 5, the coveted level 5, and to the level 3 Stormbolt, I believe. Otherwise, level 3 Thunderclap, maybe? Beetles are being dumped at the base of Yumiko, which is a bit weird. I mean, if they die to towers, then I guess they don't give experience over, and I guess they're just far enough to not give experience in general. Not Ogul camp, yikes. Magnetor camp on the bottom right here is going to be cleared out by TGW, and another expansion is going to be placed down. Crypt Lord gets, oh, actually Magnetor is not dead just yet, as he goes for a Ice Bolt, I think. There we go, another Ice Bolt. I'd say Stormbolt, but I think it was an Ice Particle. Magnetor is gonna drop the Cloak of Flames, as well as level 5 as well, so level 3 Beetles, if I am not mistaken. Yep, that is indeed level 3 beetles.
Our forces are under attack.
Peruvian camp here, or at least spider camp, scorpion camp on the top side is going to get cleared out. Most of the camps are pretty much wiped out. I think the only ones left is this one and the top left camp here. But anyway, Cloak Flames picked up, as we also have a DK. Okay, that's nice. Can never stay away from the DK. You'll eventually have to get him, as Cloak of Flames should be a decent alternative to spiky armor, since the Crypt Lord isn't putting any points into that. Cloak of Flames is going to at least give him the necessary DPS to try and deter, I guess, the Stormbolts around. As he picked up the Roman Magi from the not there, Goblin of the Market, from the marketplace.
I live to serve.
Alrighty, both sides are trying to get to their final comps here. TGW is at 50 supply, his opponent Yumiko is at 61, with a paladin to complement the last hero trifecta. Yikes, Peasant Massacre is right now occurring, and the gargoyles, Crypt Fiends are just having the time of their lives, I guess. Goblin Shredder is being attacked by the Crypt Lord as well, might be able to survive here, as the not many anti-air options available for the human player right now. It does banish the Dragonhawk into a free aerial shackle there, so that is at least one gargoyle down. Stormbolt is going to finish off the other one, as Shredder actually dies to this Ogre Warrior camp. Interesting. Master's Training is coming in with the priests, so priests and I don't know what else. Riflemen, okay. So rifle casters, kind of. We do have Animal War Training, but I don't know what it's for. It's just for that one Dragonhawk rider who is going to fall very soon. There we go with another Thunderclap to take down more beetles. Blood Mage still rocking it with about 200 health there. We do have the Orb of Flames, or Orb of Fire, for the Mannequin, so we can finally deal with the air units. Very nice. Impale actually doing a huge ton of damage on, huge amount of damage onto those militia. But it seems like most of them are going to live to see the light of day. Crypt Lord does have a mana pot. He got storm bolted, and the Death Coil went over to the Crypt Fiend instead of the Crypt Lord. TP Scroll is going to be used to get out of dodge. That was pretty bad for TGW. Supply is still even on both sides, but yeah. Army comp kind of looks wiped out, to be honest, for TGW side. I think most of the supply is kind of in those acolytes. 3 gold mines kind of requires 15 acolytes. So yeah, there is that we have to consider. Mannequin trying to make his way to level 6. Crypt Lord, in fact, is a lot closer than I thought. Locust Swarm, Carrion Swarm. No, it's Locust Swarm. Carrion Swarm is Dreadlord ability. Come on. I'm eager to see Carrion Swarm, Locust Swarm, because it will heal the Crypt Lord a little bit in return, as well as dealing a little bit of AoE damage. But yeah, I definitely do think that TGW is on a timer, because Mannequin is going to get that avatar, and he's going to be such a pain to deal with. TP Scroll is going to get channeled at the expansion there. Pit Lord comes out as the third and final hero of the Undead Army. I like it, in fact. Howl of Terror does affect a lot of these units. Is it gonna go for it? Uh-oh, we do see the green particle effect, so that does mean that Cleave was learned instead for the first ability, and the Pit Lord, I mean, he does have the claw, he does have the claws, he does have the orb, but I don't know if that's gonna be enough. Inner Fire coming in from the Master Trained Priests. I guess might not be enough. That was a pretty good impale there. Blood Mage is going to be healed up with the Holy Light, as you do have the Pit Lord being bursted down thanks to the Storm Bolts. I'm hearing Banish effect, but I don't actually see any units being banished. I think we have a loop, which is kind of sad. Gonna have to live with that for a bit. Alrighty, Pit Lord being revived through the tavern, as we the altar, as we do have double sword house, as well as the Temple of the Damned producing banshees. So seems like just a standard traditional transition into Crypt Fiends and banshees. A-bombs before statues is interesting. I do think that statues might be required. I don't know really, because there's a lot of riflemen on the field, but no spell breaks to deal with, so destroyers with mana probably melts through those riflemen. As I did kind of hear that siege engine. Where on earth is it? There it is. Yumiko. Not sure what he's wanting to do with the siege engine, but hopefully he's not massing those. Another Impale's gonna come through, only hitting a couple of riflemen there, as we do have Thunderclaps applying the slow debuff. Stormbolt onto the Pit Lord there. He is going to take reduced healing thanks to the change of that Orb of Fire. Curses doesn't seem to be enough, because Curse doesn't exactly apply to those spell casts. And the Mountain King is still locked in with double mana pots, as well as the help of the Blood Mage, so he is gonna be forever at max mana, unless something hectic happens and Yumiko can't really micro. But I doubt that is gonna happen. Magnetor is gonna finally be taken out here on the top left. Blood Mage, I'm not sure if he's gonna hit that level 5, especially with the Paladin leeching experience. But Paladin definitely gonna hit level 3 himself. Stormbolt onto the Crypt Lord, not enough damage because of that green bubble, as we do have Unholy Aura being picked up by the Paladin. He's so close to the level 3, that is a pretty big power spike, as he will be getting that level 2 Holy Light, healing up a lot more potently. Very nice Impale, hitting 2 of 3 heroes there, but yeah, yet again another Holy Light is going to top up the Mountain King. Nice Impale onto the Paladin there, but he honestly needs to, TGW needs to time his Impales to prevent the Paladin from going for Holy Lights. It's kind of similar to the Shadow into Hexing, the DK. Pit Lord still at level 1, still trying to do his best in applying the Cleave damage. I'm not actually sure if Cleave applies AoE armor reduction with that Orb of Corruption, but it probably does. It does get negated by the inner fire, however. We do have a couple of riflemen being picked off here thanks to the Impales of the Crypt Lord. Now that the Crypt Lord is out of mana, the Death Knight actually dies a little early as well, and now that the Crypt Lord might actually have overstepped his bounds, is going to force the TP scroll, and bit of a lost fight there for TGW. He is the one that engaged on that. Was a little too overbearing with his DK, but it should be fine. He is still a base ahead. He is keeping his opponent from going for another expansion, but that might not be for long. A lot of units at low health bars, especially these two heroes here. I believe a healing scroll is going to be used, maybe. No, clarities are just going to be used instead, and the priests are just going to heal themselves. Oh, there's the healing scroll, finally. as the Blood Mage is completely out of mana. He doesn't actually have a clarity on the way. Probably should fix that very soon. Alright, back to TGW side. He is going to 80 supply right now, green bubbling his units. He does have meat wagons as well. That is going to be extremely difficult to deal with for Yumiko because most of the units are ranged and they are pretty vulnerable to those meat wagons. A-bomb's gonna keep those meat wagons safe as they are pretty beefy in the front line. I'm still disappointed that Yumiko's not going for at least some spellbreakers, some knights. Is going for +1 upgrade, I believe, for those riflemen, but knights would have taken this game a lot sooner, I think. We're even beefing it up to 3 A-bombs on the field with Noxious Cloud. Yeah, Yumiko needs to be very, very careful. Mountain King, a bit of a ways away from level 6 and the ultimate avatar form. But once he gets to the avatar form, I really don't know how on earth TGW is gonna scrounge up the damage to kill this dwarf. Because avatar form gives you spell immunity, a whole bunch of health, and I think armor? Maybe armor? But it's the spell immunity that's important, not being able to be affected by death coils, spikes, or impales. But yeah, he needs to get to that point, and he is going straight after these acolytes here for possibly an easy kill. DK is going to get dizzied as he was in that Zeppelin. Impale going to be used onto the Mountain King there, maybe for a surround, I don't know, but that is a lot of acolytes actually dying to their own meat wagon fire. Mountain King just one more kill away from level 6 there. He is not enough mana. He does have the mana pot available, however, as we do have dispels being able to use to kill off these carrion beetles. There we go, avatar form has finally been attained. Very nice thunderclap there, and we are gonna go for Casmodan. A-bomb number 1 is going to drop to the Paladin. We still have 2 on the field. The meat wagons are trying their best, but Yumiko's got his riflemen at least split up pretty well. The priests can be clumped up a lot more easily, and they are gonna take the siege damage. Mountain King is gonna drop to very low health, is gonna get healed up and forced to use that TB scroll. Yikes, I did not actually see that surround happen. But it's not going to matter all too much as he is going to get TP'd right back into the action here. 1100 health, all the work that TGW worked for has been completely evaporated here. We're still down 30 supply for Yumiko, but the amount of AoE damage coming in from the thunderclaps of that Mountain King is nothing to scoff at. Level 6 for the Cripple Lord there, but he is not enough mana for the Locust Swarm. And it seems like that is the cue to leave. We might even have a couple of A-bombs freely picked off if the Storm Bolts are accurate, but it seems like the Death Knight is going to be the one picked off instead. Is going to hit that level 4, kind of rubbing the salt in the wound because that just makes his revival a lot more expensive. Crypt Lord apparently was also part of that surround. Level 6 is going to eat that green bubble there, but is that going to be enough? Oh, I don't know. Holy Light into a Stormbolt, and that is going to be a level 6 Crypt Lord taken down at this late stage of the game. That is a pretty big deal because Crypt Lord did have Carrion's Locust Swarm off of cooldown. He just needed to wait for the mana, and now he has 2 heroes to revive. One that just leveled up, and the one that was already at level 6, so that is a tough break. Paladin nearing that level 5 into that crucial level 3 Holy Light. Once he gets to that point, I think the Mountain King will never drop 200 health ever again. Paladin needs to be careful. I believe he does have the Divine Shield, as he doesn't actually have any points in his Devotion Aura, which I personally think is a bit of a mistake, as you do have the Phoenix onto the field, it is going to get whipped immediately, but with the DPS focused onto that Mountain King, yeah, I don't think the Phoenix is going to be dealt with anytime soon. Obviously, when it dies, it goes into its egg form, and yeah, with the Mountain King being pushed back a little bit, I think oh, the Phoenix actually does die pretty quickly, actually. Oh, okay. I thought it lived a little bit longer, but it seems like I was mistaken. Ooh, Paladin needs to be careful there. I guess he's pretty confident in living, as we do have a TP scroll being channeled by the Pit Lord. DK, Crypt Lord, gonna go revive through the tavern there. TGW at 74 supply versus Yumiko's 57.
Our gold mine has collapsed.
Gold mines have pretty much been equalized. Main bases have collapsed, but it's TGW that needs to be a little bit wary here. This gold mine is gonna expire in a couple of, probably 1 minute, and it seems like this gold mine also ran out of gold. Oh, this one did as well. Oh, yikes. So the only gold mine left on the map is the one in the top left. This one only has about 600 gold for TGW, and then he's pretty much gotta go all in. There is no more bases left to take. Ooh, TGW, I mean, he's been at such high supply, so he suffered a lot in that low upkeep for the majority of these 3 gold mines' lives. Oh boy. I mean, the good news is he can unsummon a couple of these buildings to try and make the all-in possible. It's just, he's outnumbered his opponent for the majority of the game. I don't exactly know what he can do right now to change things. He's added a lot more statues and has Destroyer Form available, but with Phoenix up, with Avatar Form available for the Mountain King, oh, it's such a tough pickle to try and get rid of. Healing Scroll gets picked up by the MK here. I am still scratching my head on the siege engine. It doesn't exactly have the rockets in the back, so it can't really deal with any destroyers. I don't know what it's for, to be honest. Shade is following the human army here. Decent number of riflemen, +1, +0, and Master Trained Priests. Once again, Spellbreakers, Knights, I think would have very much solidly won the team fights of the game, but I guess the Knights are a bit of a problem because you definitely don't want to give them over for free to those Banshees. So yeah, Spellbreakers, I'm surprised I don't actually see any of them. They could at least hold a little bit well versus those A-bombs. Wow, Destroyer almost died to the Murloc Huntsman there. But the Murloc's just gonna get taken out by the rest of the undead army. 78 versus 63. Phoenix is up, but it is slowly deteriorating in terms of HP. The Shade has spotted this, so the ideal time to engage is when the Phoenix just hits its egg form. But it's not going to be this egg form because TGW is not in position right now. Probably will have to wait for the next life, but
Job's done.
Yeah, that does mean that you're giving your opponent a little bit more time to just prepare, which is going to be this potential Arcane Tower. Interfire is being cast left and right. I haven't seen as many curses as I would like to see. Curses definitely would be a lot more helpful, as well as Howl of Terror. I'm still surprised that the Lord hasn't really cast Howl of Terror this game. It kind of negates the Inner Fire a little bit, along with the Orb of Corruption, but here we go. Locust Swarm has been cast. The Phoenix is at half health. Towers are going to get cleared out here, as we do have Magic Sentry being completed, so the Shade does get shot down. Crypt Lord just gonna slowly whittle these peasants' health bars away a little bit. Impale is gonna hit 2 of 3 heroes once again. Mountain King is gonna get dropped to half health, but healed up with the Holy Light. once again for cast mode down here, as we are gonna have full avatar eating most of the damage coming in from the undead army. Still 59 versus or 59 versus 74. TGW is pushing his opponent back a little bit, as we do have a surround onto the Mountain King here. He is getting dropped down to dangerous low health, but the Paladin is still with mana. Impale tried to prevent further healing there, but I don't think that's going to be enough. The Mountain King once again is going to get healed up. Level 5 on the Paladin, which means level 3 Holy Lights, full maximum healing here. Very nice Impales, but just not enough DPS to finish the job. Crypt Lord is going to fall, level 7 on the Mountain King, and that is going to be a good game from Yumiko. So Yumiko able to take this one. I think the Mountain King might have been a little too difficult for the undead comp to deal with. Honestly, I really can't think of any way that the Mountain King could be dealt with as an undead player, so yeah, a bit unlucky. Kind of ran out of time once the Mountain King got access to Avatar, but yeah, thank you Metaphysics for recommending this replay, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys again whenever.